Winning isn't everything. You've probably heard the phrase, winning isn't everything, a time or two in your life. If winning isn't everything, then why does losing feel so shitty? The answer is pretty obviously. You're being lied to. Of course, the notion of winning isn't everything couldn't be further from the truth. Winning is absolutely everything. Why on earth would you do anything if you didn't want to achieve a specific result? Watch any sports final and take a look at the loser's bench. Do you see them celebrating? You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who's actually stoked about losing. But losing could be a good thing, and here's why. Usually when people give you crap advice, it's because they are indeed themselves losers. People simply say things to reaffirm their opinion, self-belief, or worldview. However, there is an element of truth that most losers don't follow up the statement with. Losing is inevitable and a fundamental part of self-improvement for the aspiring man. Although winning is everything, losing is also necessary to strengthen character, identify weaknesses, refine routines, mix up methodologies, and foster the skills necessary to triumph on the next go-round. Unfortunately, this convenient caveat is never presented in conjunction with the saying, winning isn't everything. And again, that's because most people are losers. So how do you overcome loss? My last major loss was the kind where life pulls the rug out from underneath you and flips your entire world upside down. I was on the verge of bankruptcy after failing a company that was poorly conceived from the very get-go. While the doors were still open, I would routinely enter the office with my blame-shifting firearms ablazing. This continued during what ended up being a 90-day downfall. With my life savings eventually gone and no new source of income in sight, I entered one of the lowest points of my life. Months later, once the dust of failure had finally settled, I was able to begin sifting through the deluge, and eventually found the black box containing the decisions that led to my failure. Losing is merely a reality check. Sayings exist for a reason. If they didn't hold an element of truth, they wouldn't be sayings in the first place. In reality, I ignored a lot of sound advice that ultimately led to my failure. Don't think that just because something sounds cliché, it isn't valid. Here are a handful of painful lessons I learned, red flags I ignored, and bad advice I followed during that entire ordeal. Don't chase good money with bad money. Money is a byproduct of success. You are the average of the company you keep. Nobody will care as much about your business as you do. And when everything disappears, everyone else will also disappear. So how do I view this monumental loss now? Well, I no longer see it as a loss at all. Rather, it was a clear and costly consequence of multiple bad decisions. My way of doing things simply didn't work. Setbacks provide a moment of clarity and growth. In my case, putting all my eggs in one basket and blindly forging down an ill-chosen path was a bad idea. Sometimes a swift kick in the ass from reality is the best medicine to cure a mediocre mindset. Adapt or die. Failure has a way of forcing you to re-examine your approach. In my case, I lost, and I'll lose again, but I choose to not be a loser. Find yourself in a moment of failure? Well, here's a nice activity to remove yourself as the victim and make yourself the hero of your own story. Convert your negative self-talk into positive introspection. Here's some examples. Original. I can't believe this happened to me. And reframing. What decisions did I make that caused this to happen? How can I prevent the same outcome in the future? Original. Everyone is out to get me. The new way of thinking. Why did I choose to allow these people into my life in the first place? Original. Is this ever going to end? New. How can I position myself to soften the landing and rebound swiftly? There's a reason everyone loves a good underdog story. The path to triumph and overcoming obstacles to achieve is pure ecstasy to a man's mind. There's no magic pill. Winning takes work, and the process is difficult. However, when you break down the steps, they're actually fairly simple. 1. Accept your loss. 2. Examine why it happened. 3. Change your approach. 4. Adopt new behaviors. 5. Practice until they become habit. 6. Try again. And 7. Win. You see, a winning attitude is everything. Now, you're not going to win all the time, but you can always exhibit a winning attitude, regardless of the outcome. Sure, sometimes you'll still get your ass handed to you. In fact, that's inevitable. But as long as you can choose not to be a loser, you're already a winner. So the next time you find your life on the losing side of the coin, be sure to keep a winner's attitude. So what sort of failures are you experiencing right now? What mindset or behavioral changes have you made to overcome these obstacles? Thank you for checking out this Men's Shrine content. As always, be sure to subscribe and visit the original content at www.menshrine.com.